Okay. Woo! Yes. All right. We'll just give it a moment. We'll let the word get out. We are live. My name is Jordan, head coach Jordan from Without Bounds. Without Bounds now here on Instagram. Without Bounds Coaching, here to heal, uplift, and empower you. My goodness, I am so happy to be back. It's been quite a while since I've done a live, and I apologize for keeping you waiting. I've been holding out on you with my love, my light, and I'm here to share. I'm here to give as much value as I can tonight about lucid dreaming. We're talking about what? We're talking about lucid dreaming. And when I was thinking to myself, all right, I wanna go live each week now, and I want to share a topic that really, sinks deep into my soul, the kind of things that, bring me back to my deepest inner child, that bring me back to my deepest playful self. And for me, lucid dreaming is one of these skills that I've developed in my life to touch that spirit of play, to touch that and connect with that high level, highly divine energy of imagination, of real soulful connection to your own subconscious, understanding yourself in a very cool and symbolic way. So, I would love to share with you the things that I've learned about lucid dreaming, the things and techniques that I've developed over the years, and, what I've done to get closer to my, what might be called expert level of lucid dreaming, is that I actually treated it like it was a skill to be developed, like it was something for me to practice, like going to the gym and, doing your push-ups and your pull-ups and getting your muscles ready. It was like I treated lucid dreaming as if it was a muscle I could build, as if it was a practice that I could imbue into my life, that I could, schedule into my life, so to speak. Now, I want to tell you why it's so necessary to connect with this energy in your life. Why at some point it would be of extremely high value to connect with this energy and learn how to tap into that spiritual, imaginative level of play. So let me tell you what those reasons are. The first is that you need to become interested in a symbolic life. You must become interested in a symbolic life. Now, what I mean by that is, just a second here. Port wine. Delicious. You want to become interested in a symbolic life. And what that means is that without over-obsessing on small details in your life, being able to have a clear and honest picture of the whole picture, of the actions that you've taken to lead you to where you are, the things you've learned and experienced to bring you to where you are, and to be able to look at the story of your life and be able to synthesize a healthy story, a healthy concept of yourself, a healthy concept of your relation as a being in the world. And the reason a symbolic life can become so helpful is look around you, whether it's the Bible, whether it's history. What's the root in history? We get rid of the word high or his, and it's story. Just look at the story of your life. Because what lucid dreams invite you to do is to play with the story in your dreams, to be able to clearly acknowledge that you're in a dream and be able to clearly change the direction of the experience in that space. So one is to become interested in a symbolic life, and two is to become interested in the error-correcting wisdom of your subconscious. Your subconscious is seeking integration and wholeness in its highest vibration. When you're in that high vibrational mode, that's your patterns seeking that, integration, that wholeness. But in order to get there, our entire being has developed this super intuitive, super powerful tool known as a dream to allow you to get insight into the undercurrents of thought and belief currently dominating in your life, or currently being avoided or not thought of in your life. So, again, when you're lucid dreaming, the importance, the value of lucid dreaming is to develop a symbolic life and at the same time develop an interest in the error correcting power of your subconscious. Because your dreams are going to present to you scenarios and situations to either choose your power or to surrender and neglect your power at times. A lot of people have recurring dreams because they're unable to connect to this thing that's trying to present itself to them. It's saying, look, here is something that I need you to hear. Your whole being is crying out, you're not listening to it. So lucid dreaming is an invitation, is a leaning in to what your subconscious has to communicate with you. So the next thing is you must become aware of dreams, and this is a personal thing here. Dreams are gateways to other dimensions. Become open to this. Become open to the idea that if we live in a multiple universe world, if our minds are these virtual reality machines, then somehow our dream space is an invitation, if you could lucid dream, to learn how to start playing with creation itself, and invite you then to develop this skill in your waking life, to be conscious and aware, not that this is a dream, but that you are here. And then to find the power that you have in those dreams and begin applying what you feel in those dreams when you're empowered, when you're doing things that are completely, apocalyptic or cataclysmic or superhero saving kind of a thing. When you're doing that, I want you to feel inside what it is you're feeling and then find its parallel in your waking life. Because when you activate that feeling, that is the value of the lucid dream. It's the power to bring imagination and creativity into your day-to-day experience. And that's the greatest invitation that we can have for this gift. Is that clear? So what I would love to do now is just dig into, some of the dangers of doing lucid dreaming. Like if you're not training yourself and preparing for the right way to approach it, the danger of going after the lucid dream practice is you might find yourself getting more lost in thought during the day. So as you're practicing using your imagination, sometimes you might humor certain things, certain thoughts that don't necessarily deserve to be dwelled on. And what do I mean by that? Well, let's say you got into an argument with either a friend, a roommate, a spouse, a significant other, and you find yourself ruminating on it. You're going about the rest of your day, now kind of having this ongoing conversation with this person. Well, that sort of amplifies itself into the rest of your day, and it becomes a habit of mind that is not too healthy for you or for the person who you are going to be dealing with. So the danger of lucid dreaming is that you kind of reinforce some of those habits and patterns, at least in my experience. I don't know, maybe you've had other experiences with this. You can comment down below, let me know, your experiences with lucid dreaming. I would love to hear, how you built your practice up, what its, analogous sort of experiential things did you have to go through or end up dealing with as a consequence in your life when you started lucid dreaming. Super curious. Salud. L'chaim. Cheers. So now that we have all that out of the way, let's get into the stages, the steps that you're going to need to take in order to start developing an effective lucid dream practice. You ready? Let's do this. So step one, stage one, is to first, while you're in the dream, become aware you are dreaming. So what might that be like? It might be that, someone and you are in a car and you're in the backseat of the car, but you're driving the car. And all of a sudden you recognize, oh, this is a dream. Like, there's no reason that I should be in the back of the car holding the driving seat. And it's this recognition that you're dreaming that is the first step towards, being able to slowly open up your awareness in the dream. So how might you, in your waking life, lead yourself into that experience? Well, the first thing is purely intentionality. It's purely seeking the kind of internal motivation that says, when I go to sleep tonight, I want to become aware that I'm dreaming. Like, just intending for it is a boost in the right direction that will allow you to start developing a new relationship while you're in the dream world. So, one tip that I also super recommend if you want to start lucid dreaming, although I don't like doing it in my life anymore, it's sleeping in. The best way to get the best dreams is to just sleep longer than you would and allow yourself that nice relaxing, like super extra hour or two of sleep if you have that luxury. If you give yourself those extra hours of sleep, those, because we tend to remember the dreams that are closest to our waking hours. So if you're able to go into those spaces and utilize that dream space, there's a lot of, conscious power, because you're going to be waking up soon. So you have a lot more conscious resource available to actually go into the dream. Does that make sense? So what I want you to do then is, once you've become aware that you're dreaming, like you're in the dream, I know this is a dream, the next stage is to become aware that you're dreaming and then physically make something manifest. Either move your body in a certain way, or actually make something appear. So, if you do some research on lucid dreaming, some people talk about like a red ball, they talk about a red dot. For me, it was just one thing. One thing would tell me that I was lucid dreaming. And that one thing, you didn't think I was just going to tell you right away, did you? That one thing is liftoff, baby. It's flying. Like, what is the ultimate freedom that a human can have in a human experience? It would be to fly, baby. It would be to be untethered by gravity. So for me, in the dream space, my test wasn't to find a red dot or a ball or something. It was liftoff, baby. It was, let me just push off the ground, and it was an amazing, amazing dream. I remember the first time I did it, I was 12 years old, and it was crazy. I'm not going to go into it because it is a personal story. So I will just say that I did fly. So the next stage after that, or I'm getting ahead of myself, cart before the horse here, in order to start developing that relationship in your dreams, you definitely have to develop a kind of internal coaching with yourself, an internal dialogue where you actually are reminding yourself, hey, I want to lucid dream tonight, I want to fly. I want to fly. I want to lucid dream tonight, I want to fly. So when you have this conversation with yourself and you're talking yourself up for it. So remember, you're planning to wake up a little bit later, get some extra hours of sleep, because we want to harvest the dream space that we get right before we wake up. And we also want to start having conversations with ourselves about imagining what we can do with our dreams. So this might be daydreaming for like 10 minutes about flying, like actually just envisioning it, so that when you are going to sleep and your subconscious is trying to integrate things, it's integrating your desire to fly, or it's integrating your desire to see the red dot, whatever it is that you're trying to do when you are lucid dreaming. So after you manifest something physically, the next stage is to physically alter the dream at will. Physically alter the dream at will. So the first stage, it's an acknowledgement that I'm in the dream, And we empower this skill by practicing visualization, practicing coaching yourself, and reminding yourself as you coach yourself, I want to lucid dream. I intend to do this. Remember, it's that intentionality. Stage 2, physically manifesting, either moving your body, making something appear in the dream. And then the next stage is to actually physically alter the realm. So what does that look like? Well, I've had dreams where I have giant, it was like a rocket ship flying into the earth and it was going to crash land, and I just whipped my hand up and like telekinesis, stopped it and like brought it down without crashing into the earth. I've had dreams where I can fly and can start telekinesis and using and manipulating earth and raising cities from underneath water, flying at hyperspeed, just hovering, walking through walls, getting shot and not dying and being, kind of invincible in the dream. Just endless stories of manipulating the dream at will, like just being able to give yourself powers. So how do you activate this in your real life? How do you take this power and start using it? Well, it's a creative practice. Again, it just goes into daydreaming, like giving yourself that 10-15 minute, like I'm just going to let my mind connect the dots for me here, and I'm going to go from thought to thought to thought to thought. So instead of planning for the future to have like, I'm going to reach $10,000 in my business this month and I'm going to have to do X, Y, Z, A, B, C things to do that. No, this is just a creative thing where the only reward is something within. The only reward, it's intrinsic. It's what you want to achieve to get in touch with that imaginative power. The external results will come later on when you develop a connection to that imaginative power, that you can start imagining what you want to create in this realm. Because the dreams are a playground to use your imagination and power so that you can bring them into the real world and begin manifesting and creating what you want to create. Becoming the person in the dream, the powerful person. Like in my dreams, I am a powerful man because in my life, I want to be a powerful man. And I hope you realize that you are powerful too. So, what's the next stage after that? After that, we have becoming aware of the dream, aware that you can physically manipulate it, and then hopping from dream to dream. So some of you may have experienced this where you go to sleep in a dream and you wake up in another dream. And maybe you go to sleep again in that dream and you wake up in another dream. Or you get like knocked out of one dream, like startled from one dream, boom, into another. Or maybe even you wake up from a dream and then you come back into that dream. Like, that's pretty cool too. So what I'm talking about here is a skill called dream hopping. And what it means is that you, at will, just go to another dream. Like sometimes I would put like these urns out on the ground in the dream and I'd smash it, like step on it, and it would teleport me to another world. Other times there'd be like mirrors or paintings and I would walk through into another world. Or I would literally just see a portal or make a portal open up and just walk through. Like being able to do that, personally, what I think is going on symbolically is that if you can do this, you're kind of learning how to get deeper into the subconscious layers so that you can figure out how to integrate at a very deep level things that are kind of the particles that like really that are stubborn and need to be integrated better. But what it's teaching you in the real world is that you can be agile, that you can learn emotional intelligence, you can learn speaking, you can learn coaching, you can learn, how to build and design courses, you can learn how to help people in all these different ways. You can learn massage, you can learn real estate, you can learn anatomy, you can learn physiology, you can learn investing. It's like the things available to us, at a symbolic level, taking what's real, taking what is in this physical manifest world, and then being able to pull it and extract it into what does it really mean symbolically for us? That's where the dream space is really inviting you to do, is to figure out how to amplify what the dream is teaching you in your physical reality. Find the symbolic, connection between the two. If you have any questions about this, just make sure you comment below. I'm gonna do my best to answer as soon as I can. Especially if we just get bogged down with clients, we just want to make sure that we're answering your questions. So please leave some questions at the end. And then the last stage, or last two stages here. So, last stage here. So this is where it gets really heady in a very spiritual direction. So once you develop your superpowered dream, where I've witnessed stars be born in dreams, I've traveled in space with aliens, I've met aliens, I've traveled to different planets, I've watched planets be built in dreams, which it's truly quite a sight. I've flown at various speeds. I've used telekinesis. I'm able to sense the physics of the world. It's very, very cool. It's cool because you go into this space and you're like, wow, like I actually have this sense of how gravity works in this dream. How do you change the environment, says Jimmy. Jimmy, I will answer you in just a moment, brother. So, having the ability to hop from dream to dream, that is a powerful skill. Changing the environment, again, it's exercising your mind's ability in your waking life to imagine that you're able to do that with your mind. Like, actually spend time thinking, what would it be like to move objects with my mind? What would it be like to change the landscape? Let's see. You can become aware. Well, work with what you got. Yeah, don't worry, Bethany. I put it in we're going to save it at the end, so we'll put it in YouTube, and we can put it on IGTV so that you can watch it, and you can learn all about how to do it. I promise. So, Jimmy, just work with what you got, brother. It's seriously just an incremental Kaizen kind of a thing. And Kaizen, bro. It's bit by bit, brick by brick. Just practice what you have, work with it, and have an interest in it. Remember, we talked earlier at the beginning of this about being super interested in living a symbolic life, being super interested in the error-correcting power of your dreams and your subconscious, and then being super, super interested that your dreams are a gateway to possibilities in your life and possibilities of other dimensions. So let's get to this last stage here, okay? And the last stage is ego release. Now, what does that mean, ego release? Well, those of you who've ever, had like an ego death experience, or really just pull you out of your body experience. Some people call it the out-of-body experience. Some people, who have taken psychedelics have had an experience where their whole being dissolves and they just feel like a point. I know there's a real cool, Jimmy, you know the guy, Phil something. He's the be a dot guy. Like, just to have this experience in a dream where you completely just let go your body, you let go your whole sense of beingness, your whole personhood. And these dreams have been super cool because I remember I walked through a wall into a dark pit. Like, I just fell through like an apartment building into this dark pit, and I'm falling into the pit, and I get this idea. I'm like, why don't I fall and rise at the same time? And as I thought this, a giant blue like tube kind of opened up, and my whole awareness, like you're looking at me, you can see me, you can see my body, you can see me on your phone, the details, and then you've got your space around you. Like, imagine if this was just a blue, like a light blue color, and your whole awareness is this giant tube, and all of a sudden a little black dot at the center. Like, I just felt myself pulled in, and then I get pulled into this black tube, or this black circle, and I'm just a point in this space. And it's like being inside of a geode. You know what a geode is? It's like sparkly, very bright, and this had purples, oranges, and golds and yellows, and it was beautiful. It was so cool. But I was just a point. Like I was no longer Jordan anymore. Like there was no sense of being a self, being who I was. It was just a dot in this space. And all of a sudden this head just appeared out of nowhere. Like if you've ever played, of all things, Star Fox back in the N64, when that Andros, the boss, the fucking hands and the head, just floating head, like I just see this head bouncing off the walls. And it's so crazy because the head, it's bouncing and it says to me, "There you are." And I'm like, oh my God. And I wake up from the dream because it's like, well, now what? What do I do? So I end up back in my body and I think about it for just a complete moment. It was like, when I shed my skin, I became visible to this entity. Or, when I shed my skin, I became visible to some higher level of consciousness. And for me, extracting from that dream, that lucid dream, the symbol that I am more visible to something bigger than myself, that I am able to connect with an energy level higher than that. By being able to do that in my dreams, I can then go back into my real life with this magnetic power and begin to connect with more people, begin to serve more people, and begin to serve a purpose that allows me to take my imagination and create in the world. So, my friends, I sincerely appreciate you spending time with me, you getting to know my experience with lucid dream. This will certainly not be the last conversation that I have about this topic or about dreaming in general. Again, those stages are: first, becoming aware that you're dreaming. Second, becoming aware of that you're dreaming and then physically making something manifest. Third is, after you manifest something physically, you change the environment at will. Fourth step is to move from dream to dream. And then fifth step is to release your ego in that dream. So I've given you a bunch of tips throughout this video to achieve that in your real life. The real challenge is to invite yourself space in your day to daydream, to actually just practice daydreaming while you're awake, so that when you dream, you will become awake. I promise you, give it a shot, keep working at it. DM us if you have any questions about this. Leave your comments and questions below. I'm so happy to be here with you on this amazing Friday night. Thank you so much for joining me. My name is Jordan M. Fishman, head coach here at Without Bounds now on Instagram, Without Bounds Coaching, here to heal, uplift, and empower you and your world. We are here to support you during this time. Right now, we are taking donations for our coaching program. We are changing things up. We are doing things we could never have imagined. We're taking our premium service. We're saying, wow. And we're just doing some awesome coaching. So if you've never gotten coaching with us, we invite you to join us. We would love to help you, whether it's with transformational things like lucid dreaming or transforming and getting your purpose-aligned coaching business off the ground. Come join us. Come heal, uplift, and empower your world. Thank you so much for joining me tonight. All my love to you. Be well.